tell who's going to be on your show.
Should I move up closer? Yeah. Just waiting for some people to come on. Oh, what? Whoa! Oh, I know. I feel like there was like 2,000 people already watching. So Brandon's already on here.
Is he? Add him in.
Okay, I'm trying. Adding.
Did it work? I don't see him.
It says it's adding. Connecting.
What's up?
Hello.
How is everyone?
Good. Everything's good on your side of the.
Everything's good over here. I'm trying to mess with my exposure. I got a really bright light over here. Let me adjust this light.
Okay. So, hey guys, it's Matty here, and really quickly before I start the interview with Brendan Neice, I just want to tell you all about the our giveaway for tonight. We're giving away a Liberty Dollar, and what you have to do is share this live stream, and then what you have to do is put in the little comments section thingy majiggy. You have to put I shared it, then we'll add you into the contest. But you have to do this during the live stream. If you do it after, you won't be entered. So, yeah. So, ready?
I'm ready when you are, bud. How are
Okay.
you?
I'm good. So, welcome to the Think with Matty show. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Okay. So, before we get started, I would like to thank you for telling me those tips on the Equinox. If it wasn't for those, I would have never gotten that blowhole button.
Nice. Yeah, I saw the picture that you posted of that on Facebook. I was hoping that the settings had something to do with helping you out with that. And yeah, it's that's a really cool find, man. I will never find something like that in Idaho, probably. So that's a really cool find. How deep was it?
It was about maybe like 5 inches or so.
Nice. Very nice. Pretty good depth for a small target like that, I'd say.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I was just so used to having to swing the CTX like slowly. Then you have the Equinox, you know, like.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to, huh? Like, I call it the whipping stick because you really got to just like whip that thing around. It's kind of a crazy machine because, especially at the higher reactivity settings, like if you're running reactivity like 6 to 8 in there, the faster you swing it, the more it likes to go deep. So like if you're just going along with reactivity, let's say you're set at 7 and you're just going along detecting and you get a questionable, like a fringe target, something that is maybe just out of the range of its detection. If you just sit there and whip it back over it really quickly, it'll clean right up usually, and it goes deeper when you do that. But the lower settings in the reactivity kind of, well, they're not slow by any means. They're, I would say, about the same speed as like Xterra series detectors. So it's still pretty snappy even at the lowest setting, which gives you more depth too. So yeah, it's a fun machine, huh?
Yeah. Still learning it though. So.
Yeah, do.
So you.
Ask if everybody has sound. Comment if you have sound.
Everyone, before we do this, everyone comment. Comment if you have sound, please? Because some people are saying they don't.
One person.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we have a question from Scott.
Okay, so we have a person asking a question, Scott.
Okay. There you go.
All right.
It's that one right there.
The question was, how do the Equinoxes and the CTX 3030s compare?
Gosh, it's such a tough question. I like to say that they complement each other. On one hand, you've got the CTX that has, world-class discrimination. It's got target trace, the ability to see both non-ferrous and ferrous targets on a color display in real time, which is amazing. It's got the GPS function as well. The thing is a beast, though. I mean, it's heavy and it's a little bit slow now, now that we've got things like the Equinox and the Deus and you know, the T2s and stuff like that. They're really quick machines. So if you're in a place where you need a really, really good amount of discrimination and high accuracy with that discrimination, maybe you want to knock out like bottle caps and things like that 100%. I would say the CTX is something that you might want to lean towards. If you're in an area where you want to cover a lot of land quickly, or maybe you're going to be hunting all day, the Equinox would probably be my go-to. I tend to grab the Equinox first these days because it tailors to my hunting style more in my area. The reactivity on it is so fast and so snappy. It really is able to get in between the iron and weed out the good targets from the bad in those trashy areas. And when I go out, I usually try to go out like all day when I do, so the weight is awesome. And being able to have one machine that actually does prospecting as well, so I don't have to take multiple machines when I go out looking for gold and ghost towns. The ability to just have one machine saves a lot of room, saves a lot of having to charge different batteries all the time and things like that. So yeah, it's just, you know, do they compare with each other? I would say, you know, they're yin and yang to each other. You know, if you have both of them, man, that's a sweet combo. I like the Equinox a little bit more just for what I do, and that's just personal preference. So they're both deep machines. They're both great at target ID, and they both have different strong points. So you just kind of have to look at the area that you're hunting, and you have to kind of gauge what you need most.
Okay, so thank you for telling us that. And Scott, you just got your question answered. So the first question I have for you that we actually have is me and my dad, we've been wondering for a while, how'd you get your nickname Dr. Tones?
So Dr. Tones, a long time ago, well, it seems like a long time ago. It really wasn't that long ago. Probably about 2012, 2013, somewhere in there, maybe 2011. I started getting on the forums like Find Mall and metal detecting forums like that. And when you sign up, they ask you to sign up with a username. Well, everyone had these really witty kind of, you know, names for their characters that they were in these forums, because this was before like a lot of the Facebook groups. You know, we didn't have a whole lot of Facebook groups then. So the main way to get information on our hobby was to go onto the forums, which is still a great resource. So when I signed up, I was thinking about it for like a week or two, and I wanted to somehow incorporate Indiana Jones into the name, because I'm a huge Indiana Jones. So Tones and Jones, metal detecting Tones, and Dr. Jones, because he's technically a doctor. So I just went with Dr. Tones, and that's what stuck. Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm also an Indiana Jones fan, too.
Check this out. You'll like this then. Authentic. Indiana.
Nice.
Fedora.
I have a little kid's toy that's like supposed to be the whip that he has, but it died on me. It died. So our next question we have for you is, how long have you been detecting?
I started detecting in about 2003, but back then I was only doing it occasionally, maybe a few times a year, and it was for gold prospecting primarily. It wasn't until I actually got my CTX that I really started setting goals and trying to make finds and trying to travel different places to make finds. So yeah, there was a time there where I was only doing prospecting with my detector. My first detector was a Garrett Scorpion Gold Stinger, and it was pretty archaic by today's standards. It was kind of a beep dig machine, very you know, lack of a better term, it had an awful discrimination, like just one dial, you know. And yeah, I used that for a while, found a little bit of gold with it, And then my next machine was a GP Extreme that Mind Lab made, which is a pulse induction unit for prospecting. It was the first line of that series. And yeah, it wasn't until I got the CTX that I actually started getting into coins and relics. So yeah,
Okay,
not
that's
that
cool.
long. Yeah.
What was your biggest piece of gold that you've ever found?
Not very big. My biggest piece to date has only been about 3 or 4 grams, almost 4 grams. It was in the shape of a little boot, and I sold it. Because I actually, some people give me a hard time for selling a lot of my finds, but if I have doubles of coins and things like that, or if it's like a key date where I can get a lot of money for it, I'll use that money to fund future trips. You know, like if I can sell a dime on eBay for $300, I'm going to sell a dime on eBay and pay for gas to go detecting somewhere else or buy a plane ticket. So it's kind of my strategy.
Yeah, that's cool. Me in my case, if I need money to go someplace and detect, that's why I have my dad.
Yeah, does he want to give me any money?
No.
Cough it up, Dad.
When I went over to California to do that prospecting thing, because, you know, out here in New Jersey, we have no gold out here except for gold rings, which my dad finds all of them. When I wanted to go over there, I was like, hey, Dad, can we go over there? He's like, you have your own money? I was like, don't you have it? So we went out there, and that's the only place I found gold.
Yeah, California is a great place to go. That's where it all started, the 1849 gold rush, and I was lucky enough as a kid to grow up right in that area. So I didn't move to Idaho until I was 21. I was in the greater Sacramento, Sierra Nevada area for most of my life. So
nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool place.
Do you have any bucket listers, like stuff that you've always wanted to find?
I do. I have some bucket listers. Let me think of one offhand. I would like to find a silver denarii, a Roman coin, a solid silver one. I've never found one of those. I think that would be a pretty amazing find. I would love to find, there's this Greek coin, and it has this little owl on it. I can't even remember the name of it, but it's just such a beautiful design of a coin. If I think about it, I'll throw it up on your page, a picture of it. I think that would be really cool to find, but I don't foresee me ever finding one. I don't know. I kind of have categories. You know, I kind of have coins that I'd like to find, and, you know, meteorites that I'd like to find, and gold that I'd like to find, and you name it, bottles, all sorts of old stuff. I'd like to find a fully intact clay pipe. I think that would be really cool. Never found one of those. I find them in bits and pieces. Yeah, I don't know. What about you? What's on your bucket list? What's next?
On my bucket list, I'm planning to get an advantage over my dad and get a gold coin first. Because I found my real first before him, and then he found 2 reals. So, and then he found the Jersey copper before me, so I'm trying to get the upper hand. Yeah. And also, I also wanted to get a King George, because surprisingly, I have a real and no King George, and I've mistaken my real for a King George.
That's funny.
Because
when I went back east and I was digging, I really wanted to find a King George, and I didn't. I was the only one out of all 3 of us, between Eric, TJ, and myself. I was the only one that didn't come up with a King George, and I didn't dig one until I finally went to England last year for detectable, and that's when I finally found a King George. I had to go to England to get one. So it's really cool that you guys can find them where you live. So yeah, be thankful for that. Reals too, because we don't have any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my dad, he couldn't find a target, so he just left it because he thought it was a can, because he got like 5 cans in a row. My other friend went over, he finds it, says, I got King George.
Yeah, they sound like beer cans.
My dad's in the corner of the room. He's like, are you kidding me? The entire time. Have you ever found a gold coin?
I have actually. I found two. I found one U.S. and one from England. I actually got them right over here. I'll show you.
Lucky.
I did. It was extremely lucky, especially for the U.S. coin because it's so small. It's teeny tiny. It's so small. I'm having trouble getting it out of this little box. I might just have to dump the whole thing out.
Yeah. One time, me and my dad were with one of our friends, and we were right along a road, and we weren't finding much, so we decided to leave. We're going, and he calls us. He says, "Matt, you have to get down here." So we go back down. He's showing us the coin. We're like, are you kidding me?
This is my US. It's a $1 coin. I don't know if you can see that.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, I think it used to be in some sort of a pendant or maybe on a ring, because it's pretty shiny on one side, and if you look very closely, there's like some little bezel marks around it that you can see where it was probably mounted. The other one that I have is my favorite find of all time, and this is a 50 BC Iceni tribe Celtic gold stater, and this is actually the first gold coin that I ever found.
Man.
The Iceni tribe always marked theirs with a rose on the back, and then they had the horse on the front.
We're over here. Everyone in this room, we're like, man, and you're over there. You seem like it's nothing.
No, trust me. If yeah, it was definitely when I found it. I was so excited. I was really. I kind of lost my mind for a little bit and just kind of went crazy. It was insane.
The oldest thing I've got is like a Roman coin, but that's because my dad bought it from a friend. Oh wait,
yeah,
we didn't buy it. He gave it to us for like a little present.
Hey, now you have something to check over your machine for when you guys go to England, though, and you can scan it and see
It
how
was
yeah.
It was actually Drew who gave it to us.
Oh, Drew. Oh, okay.
He gave it to me. Yeah.
That's awesome. He's such a cool guy, and he gave me a really cool there's a really old $1 bill script thing. I've actually got it downstairs, otherwise I'd show it to you. But yeah, super nice guy. He always comes bearing gifts.
Yeah. So the next question we have for you is, what detector do you use the most?
Right now it's the Equinox. Like I said, it's kind of my first out machine right now. Just I really like how fast it is. I really like the weight of it. And you know, I've been using it for a while now, and I just feel comfortable on it. Before, it was really hard for me to switch away from the CTX because I was so comfortable with it. And when you have a machine that you're that comfortable with, it's really hard to pick up other machines and give it time to learn, because you kind of wonder in the back of your head, like, am I doing something? You know, am I walking over stuff because I'm trying to learn this new machine? Do I have to replace twice with the machine that I'm used to? So yeah, it's just kind of the machine that I gravitate to because it's it covers all my bases basically. Like if I end up in a ghost town, I'm good with it. If I end up prospecting, I'm good with it. If I need to go to the beach, I'm good with it. So that's just one machine, and it folds up or kind of breaks apart anyway. A lot smaller than the CTX. It's easier to travel with too, because the CTX, like, I basically have to put it diagonal in my suitcases and stuff when I travel, and it doesn't really work out that well. So, yeah, I'd say the Equinox. Yeah. I had to turn this light on. It's dark in here. There we go. It's dark.
Yeah. That's really cool. So, what's the weirdest thing you've ever found?
Weirdest thing I've ever found? That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. I can't think of anything really strange offhand. I'm sure that I've found really strange stuff. I found stuff in the middle of nowhere though, where you shouldn't have things to find, you know. So that was kind of like in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, you know, in the middle of the desert. You come across like a 1996 quarter. You're like, who was out here? What were they doing, first of all, and why? So you just have to assume that maybe it was another prospector, or maybe they were doing the same thing that I was. I have no idea. But it's just really strange to me how some, you know, almost everywhere on this planet has had a footprint on it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Sorry. I had some water,
That's all
got
right.
stuck.
Happens to me every day.
So, do you have any funny detecting stories you'd like to share with us?
Yeah. The one that comes to mind as kind of the funniest one, we were in England and, or excuse me, we were in New England, and we were driving back. We were hunting with Dave Weiss and Todd Hiltz that afternoon, and we had, I think it was like a 2-hour drive to get back to New York, where we were staying, and we stopped. It was really late. It was like 9 o'clock. This restaurant was just getting ready to close. It was the only restaurant that we'd seen all day. So we pull in, and it's a nice Chinese food restaurant, and we pull in, get out, order some food. Eric says, hey, I got to go make a phone call. I'll be right back. So he goes out into the car, and he's talking to his wife in the car while TJ and I are inside eating. And I don't know how bad ticks are where you guys live. Are they pretty bad where you are? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Eric got into some ticks that day, and he felt something crawling in his underwear. And he freaks out, rips his pants down, jumps out of the car, drops his phone, and then gets the tick off of himself, which was down there. And then as he did that, he locked the keys in the car. So now it's like 10 o'clock at night. We're stranded at a Chinese restaurant in the middle of nowhere, and keys are locked in the car. So we had to wait another hour for a tow truck to come, and or it was like a lock. It was either a tow truck or a lock guy. I can't remember who it was, to get the keys out for us, because it was a rental car and we didn't have a spare key. So that was a pretty fun one. It was a long night.
Wait, he jumped out of the car and pulled his pants down?
Yeah. He yeah, it was quite the sight to see for everyone in the restaurant, which fortunately was just us and the staff. So Johnny says, poor tick. That's awesome. Yeah, it was just one of those things, yo. And we get ticks out here, but nothing like you guys get out there. And you guys deal with Lyme disease a lot too. So he was, you know, first of all, he was grossed out that he had a tick on him. Second of all, he was grossed out where the tick was. So he wigged out, dropped trowel, and locked keys in the car.
For some reason, with me and my dad gets all the triggers and I get all the ticks. I don't know why.
Another funny one I can think of would be when we're out in Nevada, kind of way out in the middle of nowhere by where they have Burning Man, and we're detecting out there for gold, and my dad came with us. My dad doesn't usually go out with us, but every now and then if we're going prospecting, he'll come out with us. And I looked over and I see this kind of shiny blue thing hovering over my dad, and he's like kind of off in the distance on the horizon. I'm like, what is that? I get closer to him. He found a Mylar happy birthday balloon out in the middle of nowhere. We're probably, I would say, 250 miles away from Reno and 100 miles away from like Winnemucca. And this Mylar balloon's just bebopping out in the desert, and he picks it up and he ties it to his detector and detects the better half of the afternoon with a happy birthday balloon. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Do you have any scary stories that's like happened when you're detecting?
Yeah, absolutely. One that comes to mind is when Eric and I were driving home from prospecting in Nevada, and we encountered, this is back when I had my Jeep and I had the top off of it and the doors off because it was really hot. It was in the middle of summer. It was like June, something like that. I think it was June. And we're out there and it's usually 100+ degrees. Well, this thunderstorm rolled in and the weather changed very, very quickly. Sudden downpour, and there was all of a sudden it was a flash flood. And we were trying to drive. It was hailing. It was coming into the Jeep sideways. We were getting wet. And the roads, there was rivers coming down off of these washes, these gullies, and coming across a 5-lane freeway and washing cars into the median. Like people were getting washed down river by this flood. And we're trying to ford it in my Jeep with no doors and no top. We made it to town, but we were completely drenched. All of our gear was drenched. All of our extra clothes were drenched. And we still had about 300 miles to drive at night because I had work the next day. So it was a really, really cold, uncomfortable drive home. And that was like one of the scariest times, I think, detecting wise, that I've had.
Yeah. I remember one time me and my dad were at a beach and we're just out there. It looks really nice out. Then it just starts downpouring. And my dad's like, get underneath the lifeguard stand. So I'm just under there like this staring. I see the thunder. I yell, Dad, thunder, get out of the water. Then we start running for the car.
Yep. It happens quick and you get caught out into it. So now all my gear's like in waterproof bags and stuff like that.
Okay, so you wrote a book called The Detecting Bible. Can you tell us a little bit about it and where I can buy it?
Yeah, the Metal Detecting Bible. That's kind of one of my my life accomplishments. I always kind of wanted to write a book, and when the opportunity was presented to me, I jumped on it, not knowing initially how much work it was going to be. But it was actually a lot of fun in the end, having that done. And yeah, you can find it pretty much anywhere online if you just Google the Metal Detecting Bible. Amazon is usually the cheapest. I've seen Barnes & Noble or Walmart usually have it pretty cheap too. Sometimes Target. It just depends on the sale. But usually you can find it for around $9. You can probably find it used. But it's just kind of an instructional, and I just took everything that I had learned up to that point and put it in an easy-to-read book, something written by a firefighter that, you know, average Joe could understand. Because I'm a technical guy, but I'm not really like on an engineer's level technical guy. There are words that people say that just I don't understand. So I wanted it to be something that everyone could understand.
Yeah. When I first got my detector, but I was like, your threshold's not high enough. I'm like, what's a threshold?
What's a threshold? Yeah. Pretty important piece of information, that threshold. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to explain those types of things in that book. And it took a long time. And it's, like I said, it's everything that I had learned up to that point. There's a lot of people out there that are a lot better at detecting than I am. So I just kind of got lucky, and the publisher came to me and said, hey, I'd like you to write a book. So I did.
Okay. So that's really cool. I'll have to get a copy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, check it out.
Okay, so are you still a firefighter?
I am. Yep. I'm still a firefighter and a paramedic. My job at the fire station is I'm a driver. I'm an engineer. So my job there is to drive the fire truck to and from the emergency. And once we get on scene, I do some quick calculations and make sure that the guys running the hoses have the proper amount of water at the proper pressure for the length of their hose and the diameter of it and whatever elevation they're on. So you got to do a lot of math. So stay in school. If you want to be a firefighter or a paramedic, there's a lot of math. There's a lot of on your feet thinking, which I enjoy about it. It's a lot of fun most days.
Okay. And how long have you been a firefighter?
I started in 2006, and I volunteered at a local fire department for 3 years while I went through my EMT basic program, my Fire One Academy, and my paramedic. So after I got my paramedic, I started testing everywhere full time, and I got hired in January of 2009 with the CUNA Fire Department, which I'm still at today.
Okay. So that's really cool.
Yeah, best job in the world.
Also, I've heard that you fly drones. Do you still fly drones right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I attempt to fly drones. I crash them more than I fly them. And that's the hard truth about it. But yeah, I'm currently using the well, let me grab it real quick.
Remember, guys, make sure to share this and and type in I shared it, and you'll get the Standing Liberty. You might have a chance to get the Standing Liberty dollar. Just have to throw it in there. It also says it in the little pinned thing. He went to go get his drone. Oh, he's here.
So this is the drone that I'm currently using. This is called the DJI Mavic. And I chose this one mostly because it folds up really nicely into this little package and is super portable. So that can just go in your backpack or whatever. And there you go. It does 4K. It has some pretty good frame rates. The battery life is pretty good. And it can travel right around 4 miles, which is further than I should ever fly it, but I do sometimes. And I really enjoy that drone because it's, you know, like I said, it's portable, but the amount of research that you're able to do with the drone when you're out in the field is pretty amazing, because you can get out there and have a bird's eye view of whatever spot it is that you're detecting. And for video quality, you know, it gives it that extra touch in the videos that I really enjoy. And with the videos and filming with drones, a lot of the times to make something look cinematic or make something look really cool, you have to fly close to an object and maybe do a pan around it, or like a reveal shot where you come up over it. And those shots are kind of technical to get. You have to be really careful of how you fly, but you have to take risks in getting those shots, because you have to get close to those objects in order to get something that gives your scene perspective. Something like a church steeple, for instance, in the middle of a pasture in England. You know, it could just be a pasture in England that you're flying over. Well, that's kind of boring. It doesn't give it any perspective of how big that field is or anything. So now you put a church or something else in it, or a tree, and you do a flyby, and you get this really cool cinematic feel. The downside is it comes with the risk of flying close to those objects and or crashing into them. So yeah. It does happen.
Yeah, I have little tiny drones that don't have a little camera, but you just use for racing. And I have a 0% chance of getting it to the end. It will just crash into the wall by the time it gets even halfway.
You and I should never fly drones together. All we would do is be chasing drones. I ask Johnny Utah. He's for some reason he's the guy that I'm with almost every time I crash my drone, which is every time I fly pretty much. So last time we got so lucky. We were across this big river, okay, and it's a big river. We're flying the drone from one side of it across this expansive bridge and to the other side of the river, and I'm flying backwards away from this bridge to get this cool shot, and there's no backwards sensors on this. It only has forward and downward sensors, so you have to kind of pay attention to how close you are to things that are behind you when you're flying, and you can't see those on the camera because you're flying backwards. So you have to have a good line of sight and be very cognizant of where you're flying. And I flew it right into the back of this mountain, and it crashed and it rolled down. But it rolled down on this little jogging path that was way on the other side of this canyon. And I tried to take off. It must have been upside down or something. Here comes these joggers, and we're just about to get in the truck and go around the bridge and up this canyon and down this path to go retrieve it, which would have taken all day and we would have just shot our day. So here comes these joggers, and I'm in the truck, and I look at my phone, and my phone's moving like someone's walking with my drone. I'm like, oh my gosh, John, someone has the drone. So we hop out. I'm like, hey, can you set the drone down with the propellers up? And the guy puts it down, and whoop, flew it right back. So lucky.
Yeah. Okay. Really quickly, this is something I ask everyone.
Okay.
Okay. This question revolves around everything in life. It's a life or death question here. Do you like pizza?
Absolutely, I love pizza. Look at me. This body says I love pizza more than any person should. I have a place that's kind of close to my house called Messenger Pizza. It's kind of my hangs, and yeah, the pepperoni and baked tomato with a black olive, to die for. Flatbread, kind of oven baked, so good, so good. I tried to talk the wife into getting it today, but she wouldn't let me.
We have two different places around us. They both start with R and sound similar. We have Ricardo's and Ramonza's.
Daddy.
Nice.
They both have good taste in pizza.
I got someone that wants to say hi. Hey.
Cool.
Can you say hi? Oh, you're a little lamb? I've got a little lamb. His name's Abel. You say hi.
Hello.
Everyone wants to see your pretty face.
I don't think he's interested.
Wow.
Hello.
You want to go detecting with Dad in the spring? Yeah, where are we gonna go? I don't know. I don't know either. I thought you were doing the research. No.
Does he detect?
He does. Yeah, he likes to detect. He's got a little Go Find, and sometimes he'll use the Xterra 705. And yeah, we like to go detecting, huh? Where's your favorite place to detect? By the horses. Say by the horses.
By the horses.
By the horses. We've got a special place by the horses that he likes. Yeah.
One time I was out detecting with my cousins, and we had one of my cousins. He's younger than me, so I let him use the Go Find 60. So he really liked it. Then at the end, we realized it was gonna be his birthday soon. So what was he gave it back to me. I'm looking at it. I look at him. Look back at it. I'm like, I put it back in his hands. I say, "Happy birthday! You can have it."
That was a nice birthday present.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. All right, you want to go downstairs, or you want to hang out?
No.
You want to hang out? Okay, he's gonna hang.
Cool. So me and my dad, we listen to Neil Diamond before we go detecting. And do you have any do you have any things that you say before you go to, like, do you have anything that you do before you go detecting, like rituals or anything?
Yeah, I do actually. I listen to Eye of the Tiger really loud in my truck. Get pumped up. Eye of the Tiger, the thrill of the fight. And then we just get pumped, and then we like start hitting each other in the chest and punching each other, and we're like, yeah, let's go, let's do this, let's get it. And then we go out, and it usually works. We usually find amazing things because we did that. Every time we don't do that, we don't find anything. So we have to.
With me and my dad, we listen to a really calm Neil Diamond song, and like it's really nice, and that usually works. So we listen to Holly Holy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, it's really good. So I heard you're going to Europe. I heard that you have a trip to Europe coming up. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so a company out of England contacted me, and their name is Metal Detecting Holidays, and they said, yo, Tones, get a group of people together, and we've got thousands of acres, like almost 2,000. Hey, you're gonna poke my eye out, bud. We've got almost 2,000 acres of land to detect in a very historic part. Not that there's any.
Got a robot.
Everything is historic over there. There's not anything that's not. So it's great land. And they've got like these cool hotel room, like bed and breakfast style, like right across the street from Whittington Castle. And there's Iron Age monuments around and all sorts of cool stuff in there. So I'm really, really pumped on it. They said, you know, the minimum that they would allow to come and do that was 4 people. So I was lucky enough to find 4 people to get us on the property, and we can do it. So I'm hoping that this becomes a thing, like once or twice a year. Maybe we can get a group of people together and go. I know like Chicago Ron has like the Colchester group and things like that. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe this will turn into an annual or biannual occurrence where I can take some people to go and hunt for some really cool stuff in England.
That's really cool. When you said that, you could bring people with them. I just saw my dad in the corner going this.
Yeah. Get him to pay for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad though. It's, you know, it's a little expensive, but it's also 11 days of digging, sun up to sundown. You know, you go until you don't want to anymore. Basically, you can go out with headlamps if you want. So you got plenty of time to detect out there, and that's just the way to do it. The packages are so much easier. You know, they pick you up from the airport, they drive you to your room. They wake you up in the morning, you get in the van, they drive you all to the fields, they provide your lunches, your dinners. You know, it's all inclusive. All you got to do is show up. So it's really cool.
Man, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully I can find a gold hammered coin. I think that's at the top of my bucket list when I go over there. Maybe like a gold hammered coin would be nice. Like, I don't know. Maybe like in 12th century, 13th century, something like that.
That would be nice. Those things along the East Coast we have are stuff from the Indians.
Yeah, that's right. And us too. And we've got actually, we've got a lot of Indian artifacts and stuff like that here too. So we are lucky in that aspect. The coins, not so much.
Yeah. Do you have any Mind Lab events planned for this year?
Yes.
I don't currently. Oh, I'm at 10%. We're good though. I don't know of any offhand. I don't think that they're thinking that far out currently. They're just trying to get these Equinox machines out, and that's like their main objective right now. So will there be events? Maybe, I don't know. I hope so, because they're a lot of fun.
Okay. Very cool. So,
lie down over there.
he seems active.
You want to say hi?
Yeah.
She doesn't want to say hi.
I'm not presentable right now.
Come on.
So,
say hi.
guys, in 5 minutes, we're going to be giving away the coin. In 5 minutes, we're going to be giving away the coin.
Oh, sweet. Peace dollar. Nice.
Yeah. So, guys, if you want it, share this video and put, I shared it. Because if you don't stand a chance against the other people.
That's not very fair, because I'm in the video and I can't share it because I'm in the video. How do I share the video? I want to win it.
Well, you don't count.
Okay. Fair enough.
Huh? We're going to mail you a hat, that's why.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. I like hats.
Yeah.
You start liking them a lot more when you start losing your hair. So I love hats. They're great.
Yeah. I've heard a little bit about this. Did you really sleep in an igloo?
Yeah, I did. I didn't stay all night though. I could have easily. I got hungry and I needed to go to the bathroom. And when I was inside, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna call that good. We'll call that staying the night. But yeah, I stayed a few hours in it. I built it on my front lawn last year when we had snowpocalypse, 2017. I had about 3 feet of snow in my driveway that I had to shovel to get out to go to work. And so I shoveled the snow and I piled it up. And as I made this big mountain on my front lawn of snow, I thought, man, me and the boys should just carve a tunnel in that and make like a little snow cave. So we did. I took out the shovels and we carved a hole in it, and I put a shelf in there, and I had my iPad. The cool thing was that I still had Wi-Fi signal from my house because it was in my front yard. And so I took my iPad out there and set it up. I like built it into the wall, and I was watching The Office, and I had my little jet thermos, what are those called? The jet boil, and making hot chocolate out there, hanging out. I had a sleeping bag laid down. I even put this little blanket curtain in the door so the wind couldn't blow in, and it got toasty warm. It was awesome.
Man, we can't even go out like to our little gazebo we have outside and have internet. So, being able to have an igloo outside, that's good.
It was pretty awesome. And it was something that I wanted to do again this year. It's been snowing on and off for the past couple days. I still don't think there's enough in my front yard to actually make an igloo. But if it snows again a lot, I would definitely do it again in a heartbeat.
Okay. So that's really cool. One day I'll make an igloo, and it'll probably collapse inside.
You'll be fine.
That's why I'll never be a carpenter. Okay, so if you could detect anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Anywhere?
Yeah.
I think the top of my list right now is probably Australia, because they have amazing beaches. They have a lot of gold in the Golden Triangle down there, a lot of big gold. Not a whole lot, very similar in coinage to the U.S. You know, it's not old coinage basically, but a lot of prospecting capability or possibilities, I should say. But yeah, I've always just wanted to visit Australia, and so that's probably on the top of the list. Iceland would be another place. I wanted to go to Iceland before it was trendy though, because now it's trendy, and it kind of makes me upset that I have to follow a trend to do it. But I would love to go to Iceland someday. I don't think that there's detecting allowed in Iceland. I'm not sure. I know that there would probably be some amazing stuff to be found if you could. In fact, I read an article a while back. These guys were out duck hunting, and they went to retrieve one of their ducks, and they found a Viking sword just hanging out.
Okay,
So,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else
What
to say
about
with
you?
that?
Where do you want to go?
Huh?
What about you? Where do you want to go?
I want to go to Africa because
Africa?
out there they have, like, I don't know, they have African stuff.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. I think it would be cool. I would want to be, you know what else Africa has though? Lions. Africa has lions. I'm out. Never mind.
Yeah,
No,
just
I think it would be fun. I would love to go there and photograph stuff. I love to do photography and videography, obviously. So I think it would be really cool to go on safari and take some pictures of some giraffes, maybe get a rhino, some lions, cheetah, all that kind of stuff.
Oh my.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to put a peace star on a lion and detect over it and have the hopes that I don't get attacked by it.
That sounds like an awful idea, Matty. I don't think you should do that.
So we're gonna give away our coin, and Brandon, pick a number from 1 to 46.
82.
82, you're winning.
1 to 46?
Yeah. Wait,
47.
47. To 47.
1 to 47. 1 to 47. 14.
410. Okay, trying to get out. Bella Digger.
There
Got
you
it
go.
on our Bella Digger, you want our coin?
Nice.
If anyone's mad because he didn't win, it's all the guy over there, his fault. It's not mine.
I went with my birthday number, September 14th. That's my birthday.
Yeah.
So I had to
Bella
go with the
Digger, you won the 1925 Liberty Dollar. Congratulations.
Nice.
Send us your information. That way we can send this to you, because no one likes it when you win and you don't get your prize.
That's right. Yeah.
Congratulations. Oh, she's
Congratulations, Bella. There she is.
You-
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. And if anyone's mad, you don't have the right to sue me, because I didn't pick it. So, if you have any hate comments, don't do it on me. Do it on the guy over there.
Don't do it to me either. I get plenty of those. Which brings me to something I wanted to talk to you about. I see you're having little issues with some people on Facebook. Don't let that get you down, because yeah, sometimes there's a lot of trolls out there, a lot of keyboard warriors that you know, they say things because they're not happy people. So just remember that anytime you see negativity on the internet, just say, man, must suck to be them, because they obviously are not happy. So I struggle with that on a day-to-day basis. I don't even read my YouTube comments anymore, because I just couldn't tolerate it anymore. So, I mean, keep doing your thing, though, and there's always going to be that negativity. Don't let it stop you from doing what you love.
Yeah. When I see those bad comments, I just think, if it's an adult, I just think they're just mad because I'm still a child. I'm a child.
That's right. They are. Yeah.
So,
You're
is
so
there
far
anything
ahead
else
of
you'd
the
like to
curve
share?
that they'll never. I think that's about it, buddy. I don't know. What about you? Any other questions for me?
Where'd you get that nice hoodie? That nice
The nice
blue
hoodie?
jacket?
This thing here?
Yeah.
I got this at Cabela's, I believe. Half off. Christmas discount. Yeah. My dad actually used to work there, so I'd always go and spend a lot of money there because it got discounts. But now he doesn't work there, so you'll see me wearing the same stuff all the time.
Yeah. So, thank you for being on the Dig with Matty show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. You want to try something fun real quick? Let's do a rapid question, rapid fire from the audience online. I'll answer 10 questions, whatever they got. Ready? You guys out there listening, if you have a question, I'm going to answer 10 of them. Fire it. Go.
Everyone's spam.
No, I got it in time.
Everyone's spam your questions.
They're coming fast. Hang on.
I see none.
Cheers, fellow detectors. Cheers.
Hey, Matty, I really want that so bad. Who do I want to dig with?
I think it'd be fun to go dig with Hoover Boys and Matty at the same time. I think that would be a cool dig. Matty would be he would probably run circles around us. So yeah, I think that would be great. Dirt Fishing America Volume 2, possibly. When you come back to New England, hopefully soon. Favorite coin, Greek owl coin that I don't know the name of. How long have I been married? I've been married since 2003, September 26th. I hope she's not watching. I hope that's right. That's right. That's our anniversary. Okay. What's the next big adventure? England. Going to England next month. Let's see. Yes, you want to come too? Let's go. Let's go. Jason in Southern Idaho, Relic Recoverers. Jason Porter, awesome guy there. Go check out his group, Southern Idaho Relic. Gosh, these are coming fast. Sorry.
Favorite machine?
Favorite machine? Currently the Equinox. Do you find any new people in the sport gets discouraged fast? Yes, David. People in the sport get discouraged very quick, even the experienced ones. So hang in there. put in your time, pound some ground, get some garbage, and the good stuff will come, I promise. Am I still part of Dirt Fishing America? Yes. So Dirt Fishing America, some crazy life events happened to the people like Eric and Pickhead, TJ, where they had some family issues go on and some things happened, and Eric is back in school full-time now, so he is having a hard time getting out these days. And also TJ had some family stuff happen, and now he's engaged. So he's with his girlfriend like every second of the day. So he never gets out. So it's just me and Johnny Utah usually. Occasionally Ryan and Bill. But yeah. How about CWPPO in 2018? What's the date on that? Anybody?
It's usually in October.
Usually in October.
October. It's a possibility. I'm not gonna rule it out. Let's see what else we got here. Bella, congratulations again. That is a freaking cool coin. Later, guys. Phone's getting low. My phone's getting low too. That's okay though. We're good. Is that 10? I feel like I could do this all day. It's fun.
Right now, my dog's snoring, and it's like I'm trying to keep myself from laughing.
I thought it was your dad. I thought I put him to sleep.
So thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me again. It's been awesome.
I'll make sure to send you one of these hats.
I would love that. Yeah, I'll PM you my address, and we'll get in touch.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You bet.
And
thanks to everyone that came and watched and came and shared too. You guys are all awesome.
yeah. So guess that's it.
All right.
So I guess I'll see you another time.
Sounds good. Look forward to doing it again, bud.
Okay, so see ya.
All right.
Have a good night.
You too, bud.
Yeah, it won't come off.
All right.
Well, thank you everyone for coming on. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time. Get out and have a